on a mission, and we're going to fight hard each and every day, no matter what hit pieces come our way, no matter who tries to take us down. We're going to fight, fight, fight.
The story of America is the story of an adventure that began with deep faith, big dreams, and humble beginnings.
At certain times when it seemed that there was just no hope, those are the times that turned out to be the best.
Never, ever give up. America is beginning a new chapter.
As you know, they're not coming after me, they're coming after you, and I just happen to be standing in their way, and I will never be moving.
I'm the boss.
Target acquired. Countdown initiated.
What is up, you patriotic sons of bitches? We are kicking ass into the new freaking golden age. We're soaring into the new golden age. To find from our first story here. It's awesome.
Exciting.
Freedom 250 is basically here. It's this weekend, this Saturday. We'll also go over some of the events surrounding that because it's going to be a badass weekend, dude. I don't know. Put in the chat if you guys are going to make your way to DC. I wish I could, but we will be enjoying it from here. And as I was saying last night, I'm probably just going to chill at home. I'm not going to go out for fireworks, nothing. I'm just going to watch what's going on in DC because it looks awesome. And we usually go out for 4th of July. I always go out for my whole life for 4th of July, but I don't know. I just want to enjoy some patriotic golden age Trump administration kicking ass for Freedom 250. That's what I'll be doing. And it's going to be awesome. Shout out to all different chats. Filter Dog, want to see you. Lots of energy tonight. Yes. Woo-hoo! And lots of energy coming up in our breakdowns tonight. I was doing a little dive of late into some energy tech, so it's going to be cool too. And Abby, why don't you kick us off with, I guess you could consider this energy, but at very least it's part of a step up or step back up, I'd say.
Yeah, dude. Well, before I jump into that, guys, thank you for joining us. Please give us thumbs up. It really helps us. Remember to share the stream if you like it. We always have great content on here, and we are 100% pro-Trump no matter what, because he has proven himself to us that he is a real leader, a real patriot. He cares about saving America. And that is what's happening right now. And people that do not see that, well, I'm really sorry for you. So let's actually, I'm going to share this for a second. Let me pull it down. We don't want to look at that one yet. All right, here we go. So before we went live, the White House puts this out. And they say the future of flight is taking off. Secretary Duffy just announced huge news in bringing supersonic flights to America's skies. The golden age of travel is here. And Brad, remember on our intro, we got that plane going by. I just was like, here we go, baby. All right, check this out, guys.
Yes, dude. Let's go. And land. Oh man, could you imagine?
Let's go, baby. Ow! Okay, so lot to unpack here. So it's going to be faster than the speed of sound. I read this. I was like, Brad, oh my gosh, there's going to be commercial flights faster than the speed of sound. He goes on to say, oh no, that already existed. So why don't you tell us? Anyway, I was excited because this is like massive for travel. This is massive for anything. Anything that speeds up travel, speeds up commerce, speeds up money, speeds up connections. You know what I mean? Speed is life in a way. So yes. So I'm going on and I'm telling Brad, I'm like, this is insane. This is insane. He goes, well, I remember back in the day.
Yeah, well, I guess, speed, time is money and energy. So anytime you can lessen anything, it's huge. So this is talking about the Concorde, right? I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about the Concorde. It was decommissioned in 2003. One of the reasons it was only used in the first place, pretty much across oceans, is because the sonic booms, I believe it was 1973, they implemented sanctions in America and said you couldn't fly it over the land because people didn't want to hear the sonic booms. But it looks like they're doing here is they're going to a little bit of a higher altitude, which should minimize that. And nevertheless, it looks like they're going to bring them back. And that is awesome because I never had the chance. The first time I ever rode in a plane anyway was 2000. I was 20 years old. And so that was like right when they were getting ready to decommission them anyway, the Concorde. And I'd always heard the legend. My parents always, the Concorde, the Concorde, the Concorde. So it seems like it's going to come back. And that said overland, so that's huge. That's a departure that hasn't really happened too much since the 70s.
Wow.
And like you said there, and I was looking up these numbers as well. For me, right, anytime I go back home to New York, New Jersey, it's a 6-hour flight from Seattle to there. Seattle's our satellite, right? Everything out of Alaska goes to Seattle first. And so, man, dude, a 6-hour flight sucks. I'm just gonna say it. Then reduced it to about 3 hours and 55 minutes for that specific one. Actually, that was to JFK, so to Newark might even be a little less. Who knows? 3.5 hours, which would be incredible. And just think about that reverberating across the country. And I don't know if they would have them for quicker flights, but I remember one time taking a flight from New Jersey to North Carolina. It was about an hour. It was a pretty easy flight. Imagine that at a half hour, just a half hour. Boom, you're in freaking North Carolina. Or say going down to Florida. I think Florida is like 2.5 hours. So imagine just an hour trip down to Florida. I assume everyone here lives in New York, but you guys can do the relative distances from wherever you are. That would be great if they start commercially bringing back Concorde style flights. I'm here for it.
Dude, okay. So my mind exploded. So basically, Brad's story is he said that people talked about that way back. It was like in the 70s. They put a ban. The environmentalists said that it was too loud. They're making booms over the US. Oh, do it over water. And then eventually they fought against these flights and then they couldn't do it anymore. What? Because of booms? I'm sorry. So the whole thing about this, guys, okay, you guys remember, I can't have this. Oh, there we go. You guys remember the movie Firefox with Clint Eastwood? Okay, he goes to like Mach 9. It's freaking nuts. I freaking love that movie. Okay.
I never seen that movie.
But when he goes to, the speed of sound, when that first happens, I remember watching that as a kid. It's like, whoa. And to think that that's going to be available commercially, guys. Holy cow, boys. Okay, like, and so the problem, because I had to grok it. So I looked it up. Actually, Brad told me. He's like, you should grok it. I'm like, okay, I'll grok it. So the thing is, they had the ban, right? And it was all these environmentalists. They're very upset. And it was because it was low. So it was low enough that the sound barrier hit, people would hear it. And so this version is much higher. And then my conspiracy mind is a little separate, but my conspiracy mind was like, guys, you remember those sonic booms that were happening like last month? Were they just testing this stuff out?
Yeah.
But
that would be interesting.
Cutting a 6-hour trip into 3 hours, guys. And again, this is all back to Trump's mind of he's a businessman. Time is money. Time is speed. It's just everything. And we're going to be way more connected through this. And I don't know, costs of fuel and all this stuff, if that's all going to come out as this stuff comes out. But just the fact, it's like we should be at this point anyways, man. We should have spaceships flying around. Should be Star Wars already. Okay.
Yeah, where are the spaceships, right? By the
hoverboard. I've always wanted that hoverboard. I'm still waiting, That
was that's 2015 too. I think Back to the Future too. So we're long past needing a hoverboard here.
Exactly.
New Case makes an interesting point here. He says it was more than just the sonic booms; it was busting out windows and stuff. So it seems like there was some things going on. Yeah, I believe. I don't know. It might have even said it in that video. I forget where I was reading it, but I think they're going to be going at higher altitudes because I don't think you can totally. If you're breaking the sound barrier, it's going to be a boom no matter what. I don't know if you can negate that at all. But so they must be going at a higher altitude because obviously it's not going to fly. If the first sonic boom that just breaks someone's window, thing's going to be out the door. So
yes,
they've been working on it, it looks like, and I'm pretty psyched. And I just love that they're trying. It's like all these things have been so stagnant over time, and that's something we're going to talk about with the small modular reactors, the nuclear reactors they're working on right now. And a lot of this stuff has been so stagnant in that case, in that world, the nuclear world, for almost 40 years. The Concorde, right? And that's now 2003. So that's 23 years it's been decommissioned. Yeah. And really over the United States, 53 years, since 73. So they're working on that. There are a lot of things going on. They're not always the big shiny objects that people just want to talk positive or complain about. Just a few major topics, but there are 1,000,000,001 little things going on across the country right now with this administration. It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it is epic. I just real quick to finish off with the plane thing. So I found, it says, in the 1960s, the U.S. Air Force conducted tests, notably the Oklahoma City sonic boom test in 1964, to gauge public tolerance. They flew supersonic jets overhead for months, creating repeated booms. While some surveys showed mixed or tolerable reactions, many residents complained loudly about the noise, disrupted sleep, startled pets and livestock. And it says cracked plaster. There doesn't say windows here, but I could see that definitely happening. So
Yeah,
it's great. So there was a problem, and then it's like, well, how do we prevent ourselves? Like, because you'd be like, well, that's a problem, so we can't continue forward. But just find a solution. Trump always says, if you come to a wall, he says, find a way around it. He goes over it, go under it, go around it. He goes, I don't care, but there's a way, right? If there's a will, there's a way. And the idea of traveling faster, woo, it just gets me excited.
Yeah, that's pretty badass. It really is. And again, time is money. So anytime you can lessen something or speed up a production of something or just aid the production of something, especially this is what the country is going towards, energy dominance too. American energy dominance is part of the Trump administration's main rollout goals. This just, again, it will reverberate over time. And a lot of the things they're putting into place, they're long game type stuff, which is pretty cool because a lot of presidents or politicians in general, they're only going for the short, hey, look what I did yesterday thing.
Right.
And hopefully you'll feel it next week. And those are cool. But if you get too into that, then you start negating these long-term efforts, and the long-term efforts are the ones that really do propel you into, say, a golden age.
Long-term efforts like this. Okay.
Yes.
And I don't know if you want me to read that other article that kind of goes along with this. So the White House Task Force, this is the official, let me make it a little bit bigger so you guys can see. JD Vance is the head here. They put out their digitalized thing again. I love how they do that.
What could
We're
it be?
sealing the deal tomorrow. Okay. Now, I'm assuming this has to do about fraud. You know, everybody's got their, messages down there. But they have been finding the most insane amount of fraud I have ever seen in my life. Oh, I thought I had it open. I don't think I have the article open right now. I'll have to find it, Brad. Unless I have it right here. Oh, here it is.
JD Vance is doing an excellent job. He's kind of coordinating things to different fraud divisions, and then those divisions are killing it right now.
Yes. Okay. So it says Trump team is exposing billions of fraud, even as Democrats keep actively encouraging it. So I'm just going to read this few numbers because it's insane, guys. Team Trump's fraud crackdown is turning up billions of stolen taxpayer money, even as Democrats do their best to ignore, deny, and even enable it. Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche's announcement Tuesday of a massive takedown, 455 perps collared across nearly every U.S. state and territory, roped in a whooping $6.5 billion in scams. Okay, we have been being robbed. And this is, I love, a bunch of people that talk about this. Representative Luna also says this. It's like, this is not Republican Democrat thing. It doesn't matter what party you are. If you're being robbed, it just is bad, right? The operation marked the greatest combined federal and state effort combating health fraud in history, Blanche noted. Individual brazen crooks in these jaw-dropping cases siphoned millions meant for people truly in need. And that's where it gets sick. They spent it on luxury items for themselves. $865,000 for a Bulgarian necklace, $595,000 Ferrari. Dang, dude. And get this, a $4.6 million Philippines beach resort.
Jeez, how would they buy? They buy half a fucking county for that.
I know.
That's insane.
It goes on. I don't know if you want me to read the rest of it.
Yeah. I'm curious to see.
Okay. So it says a student
is-
actually died during basketball practice after a doctor involved in an 89 million fraud scheme. So, okay, get this. It's a doctor. A doctor. Okay. The one in the white coat you're supposed to trust. I'm not saying every doctor's bad, but this goes up, guys. These are people that you trust.
Yeah.
It was a scheme. He okayed the kid's cardiac test based on just a cursory look, even though it contained unconfirmed interpretations noting potential cardiovascular anomalies. And he died. So this doctor overlooked it, charged the bill, got the money, and they didn't continue on with the care he needed, and he's dead. It says the Department of Justice charged. So people are going to get it, I feel.
Yeah.
A nurse practitioner fraudulently billed Medicaid for medical services, included the application of unnecessary and expensive wound allografts, never applied, or dangerously applied infected sites per DOJ. One case alone involved studying $3.76 billion in bogus charges. Abraham Hilmy of Miami allegedly billed for medical equipment and wound dressing he never provided. Fortunately, the government paid only $5.7 million of that amount, but within weeks, that cash allegedly got transferred to Hong Kong and Indonesia, and Hilmy fled the country. Just robbers, guys. Robbers from people that really need it. In another huge case, the Fed charged Marisol Yuki of Las Vegas with allegedly billing $906 million in claims, netting a cool $297 million, more than $250 million, and using the funds to buy real estate, including that Philippines beach resort. Americans, whatever their political party, should be livid at such blatant thievery. Instead, Democrats oppose anti-fraud rules, such as those in the One Big Beautiful Bill. Why are they opposing just all these wonderful things? Claiming they cost folks their health care, as if it's wrong to do any checks about whether the transaction is a scam. If it means one patient could allegedly qualify, has to wait to finish their paperwork. Okay, so that's their pushback. Dems also slammed the Trump fraud crackdown as political hit job, targeting primarily blue states and cities. Of course, those places are the ones that provide most government subsidized health care because they're commies and other social services. So most fraud will happen there, especially since Dems are against policing social service programs. Plus, this operation exposed targets spanning the entire country. Worst of all, some Democrats appear to be abetting fraud outright. Now, this is the part that goes to the thing I was just showing you guys.
Okay, yeah.
How they said, stupid ad, how they said something's going to be unsealed tomorrow. Look at this. This is what I'm hoping will come out. Abetting
I think it's
fraud.
going to hit Ellison, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I want freaking Tim Walz. Vice President J.D. Vance, for example, wants DOJ to probe and possibly prosecute Governor Tim Walz, Attorney General Keith Ellison, and others. Based on evidence, Minnesota's top state officials ordered local authorities to stop looking into fraud for fear of being labeled racist or Islamophobic. There we go.
Oh, guys, we better stop everything we're doing. We don't want them to call us racist. It's kind of something I was talking about the other day.
Yep.
You know, they always try to say like, you're racist. And then, for me or someone else would be like, no, I'm not racist. And then eventually I'm like, well, yeah, I'm not racist, but also who cares if you think I'm racist? I honestly don't care if the whole world thinks I'm racist at this point. I know who I am in my heart. Who gives a shit what any of them think? It is absolutely insane. And you know what? America's back. They're going after fraud. They're bringing back technologies that should have been just worked on instead of scrapped. There's also, again, Freedom 250s coming up. I saw a comment up here over on Pilled. And where is it? Where they said Filter Dog 1 said that Young Washington comes out on Friday, and they're going to go check that out. And I didn't realize, actually, I forgot this was coming out to begin with.
What?
This is made by Angel Studios, by the way. This is going to be a thing about freaking Washington kicking ass. Probably if it's young Washington's probably going to be the French and Indian War.
Yeah.
And I would imagine up through the Revolutionary War, maybe, but who knows? Maybe there's a follow up with that. But yeah, George Washington is a real life action hero. Literally, pretty much Van Damme started our country. So pretty awesome. I definitely, we're not going to be able, we don't have a movie theater here, but I'm definitely going to see this once it comes out to that. And it is just showing what we are going towards. And I'm going to bring up the schedule here before we go to the next part of the Freedom 250.
Oh man, I just wish that I could be there, guys. Anybody that's able to go to Washington, I'm so jealous of you.
Yeah, dude, it's going to be a sick weekend, and it's going to be all weekend long too. They are, if you look here, it starts on Friday. There's going to be a Great American State Fair at the National Mall, Wings of Freedom. Woo-hoo! That's 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. So all day long, it's going to be an awesome state fair there. Probably I know some people, Average Joe Patriot was saying last night that he has a press pass. And so I'm sure many others have it. So it'd probably keep an eye out on Friday for your different favorite anons, probably doing interviews or walking around. I'm sure content is going to be coming out of this, and I'm here for it, man. I'm going to be trying to find and share as much as I can. Then on the 4th, there's a few things going on. First is going to be the continuation of the state fair at the National Mall, and that's going to be going on all day. There's also going to be National Independence Parade. That is starting at 11:45. It's going to go to 2 p.m. That's down Constitution Avenue. Then there's going to be the Salute to America celebration and fireworks. That is the big deal. That's starting at 1 p.m. And that's going to be at the Washington Monument grounds. And President Trump is going to talk, and there's going to be if he's telling us it's going to be the biggest celebration ever. And of course, for the 250th, it's going to be. And because Trump don't mess around, man. So that is going to be must-see TV. It's going to be freaking awesome. And it's just going to be an awesome time to be an American. Absolutely love it. And then it's also going into, again, the state fair is going to continue on Sunday and Monday. There's also different events with that, and FIFA Fan Fest has been going on all throughout June. That's still gonna be going past that to the middle of July. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in Washington right now, but the main one right there starts at Saturday 1 p.m. and it's going to be going, it says to, what does it say, midnight?
Which
10:30 p.m. But I was reading another one that says it might even go a little later than that. And when the UFC thing was going, they were blasting fireworks like 1, 2 in the morning or something. Dude, honestly, that's probably going to be the same thing. I guarantee this thing's going to go late, and it's going to be a party in DC. So it's part of bringing back our American heritage. Even movies like that, I don't think the Trump administration had anything to do with the Young Washington movie, but just the whole spirit of it probably is something that inspired it again, and it's being put out by Angel Studios. So that's a Christian network, and that's who originally was hosting The Chosen until The Chosen then have done their own thing now. So it's probably not going to be any woke garbage. It's probably just going to be a normal freaking movie, which they'll call right-wing propaganda, but everything they call the alt-right is just, hey, remember when things were normal? Hey, someone's acting normal again, you alt-right Nazi. So so that's going to be pretty cool. And then that brings us to this post with you want to bring that up, the worth protecting?
Oh yeah. Okay. So there's so much to go in.
Spirit of America, man.
But to kind of go into what you were saying too, in response to what you're saying, okay, hold on. Let me just make it so you can see us again. Okay. So you guys know how 5 days ago, Trump posted the picture of him as young Trump and then Obama, right? And to regular people, that would just be like, oh, he's just posting a picture, making fun of Obama. Okay. Well, it's not really that. There's a lot more to this. So this is what he posted, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can see. Oh, yeah, you can. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then this is the Q post. Thank you, Stormy, for post. This is on my True Social. My quickest way to get there. Okay. So this is Q post 4205. And it says, the war is real. He fights for you. Now, I was thinking about the celebration that we're having and all these things. It is a struggle, right? That we're reclaiming America back. But the one thing the enemy doesn't want us to do is be excited to be American again. They know the psychological warfare, okay? It is huge. So then Trump wants to make this big deal, right? Well, we don't want to be targeted. So what have they been doing the past year? Air dominance, air superiority, weapon superiority, lasers. We've got freaking drones on the top of the ballroom. Nobody's going to F around with us. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yep.
When in battle, sometimes you have to go in front and you have to show that you don't give, Washington sometimes was in the front of the charge. That was kind of dumb in some ways, because you don't want to get shot down. However, it was showing everyone, I believe in this so much. I will fight to my dying breath. Trump says he fights for us all the time. So guess what he said? The war is real. He fights for you. So sorry that I went off on that, Brad, but it's just like, that's why we're celebrating the 250th anniversary. Think about this too. They made us think, at least I kind of heard it growing up, was like, well, after about 250 years, civilizations collapse. Did you feel that? Wasn't that kind of like embedded?
Yeah, I've heard this pushed. And I always thought it was weird because when you look back to, say, the Ottoman Empire or the Roman Empire or the Byzantine, which is really the Eastern Roman Empire, most of them were well past 250. So I never understood where that came from, but it was probably propaganda because they knew we were rolling towards it and that they were trying to reach that goal.
And see, that's what I was thinking, Brad. That's what that hit me. It was like last night. I was like, what is this garbage? No, we're going to persevere through that. We're not going to fade into the night. No, we're going to continue. And so, So anyways, this leads us to this. And the White House put this out 28th. It says, a nation built on courage and freedom, always worth protecting. And again, memes is how they talk to us. We see this picture, and those of us that have followed the Q posts know what that is. That's this picture. So what I did is I just put in it together.
Yep.
Right.
Some World War II Iwo Jima is probably the most famous picture of American history. One of them, anyway. Yeah. I love it.
And when you put that in it together, you get two posts. And this is post 4835. It says, we need justice. Think about the fraud. Think about all the corruption. Think about all this stuff that's going on. We are ready. Let's go. What did Trump say? The game is on. We're going to go all in it together. And so I just feel, I could be right. I could be wrong, but this is how they do talk to us. And they're always letting us know they're there. And because of national security laws and all, like I say it all the time on my show, the deep state will waste no time to just jump on them in the paper game, the legal game, the judges, so it had to be this way. That's why they say that. So just super exciting.
I'm pretty sure they want us to go back and look at this. They know how we operate. They know when they put up a picture, it's like, oh, let's look at the Iwo Jima picture posts. Right? These are the together ones. When they were posting they posted the famous Washington crossing the Delaware painting the other day. And everyone knows that is Q post 14, which is pretty much one of the early posts that lays everything out. And they're pinging their Anon database an awful lot these days. I would say that's the best way to put it. Trying to see.
Getting pinged.
Yeah, they are definitely doing it. I should look for that. I know I just saw it. Here we go. This is the White House.
Do you have okay, there you go. Oh,
the nation built on courage. Captain. 250 years later, the story continues. Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang.
Oh, say, can you see
And then that brings up
it's
so beautiful.
Sorry, I had to sing that.
Guys, get yourselves one that sings. All right. It's a beautiful thing. And again, this is the one everyone here has probably heard this a million times, but it kind of broke it down and says, was Trump asked to run for president? Why? By who? Was HRC next in line? And, kind of talks about what is Antifa doing? Why are they allowed to operate? This is Antifa, the Muslim Brotherhood they mentioned, Soros. These are all funded operations. This is all fourth generation warfare that is being elicited to take down what we want. They're trying to bring in communism. It turns out that Senator McCarthy was right. It's funny. Elon Musk posted this just yesterday as well. I think it's worth playing. It's only a few seconds.
Yeah, let's do it.
But this is something that I remember growing up learning about. The Red Scare. Oh, the Red Scare. And that was about Senator McCarthy, Joseph McCarthy. And, the scare where this is what could be so bad when people get paranoid. And so many people were accused of being communist, even though they weren't communist. And this is how things get out of hand. It's always presented as this negative thing. But now we see the guy was freaking right.
One communist on the faculty of one university is one communist too many. One communist among the American advisors at Yalta was one communist too many. And even if there were only one communist in the State Department, there could still be one communist too many.
Freaking men. So, growing up, I was taught in school, and it's funny because we were talking just the other day that in the 90s, even in New Jersey, we got a pretty patriotic upbringing, and none of that woke stuff was really there. We were taught to love America, taught the history of the American Revolutionary War. Obviously, a lot of it went right through New Jersey. Even what you were talking about, Washington charging the front lines, that was in the Battle of Princeton, which was an unexpected battle. They were just marching back, and they got kind of ambushed. And when when his division arrived to join the battle, that again was unexpected, he just charged the front line. He was even shot at, and he was saved by, I believe, something in his pocket. It was one of the last times that he really charged after that. But here he is. This, the father of our country, was literally riding a horse with his sword out. To a battle. Like, dude, these are the people. As if you look at Trump, obviously things, we're not on horseback firing muskets anymore, but these are different types of battles, and this guy has been totally on the front lines of it. And again, what are we fighting now? We are fighting the communist invasion. And when I grew up in the 90s, one of the things we learned in school, right in our textbooks, the Red Scare. Oh, it was this horrible time where Joseph McCarthy went crazy and everyone was so paranoid that communists were everywhere and they ruined people's careers and ruined people's lives. And it was presented as a cautionary tale for crazy paranoia, right? But really, that was the propaganda that we should have been leery of.
Yes.
Them teaching us that it was wrong. And look where we are now. And shout out to Dawn Star Rose over at YouTube, sending different jewels and flowers over there. It's a cool aspect that they got of that.
And I have to say, Janice, thank you. You are now a monthly supporter. Oh my gosh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much, babe. Do we have a laugh track? I don't want to laugh, but I want to clap. Here we go.
We love our monthly supporters. That's such a beautiful thing. People are supporting your work, and our work is very much geared at also stopping communism. So
yes, I got to say something about that, Brad, because I love that topic that you're saying. Okay, so
Communism.
This is it's going to take a minute. This is going to take just a minute, but please follow with me, babe. Follow. Okay, because sometimes I go this, and Brad's like listening. He's like, "Give me a moment to process what you're saying."
And also, shout out to Woke Society who's just rated us over on Pilled. Love you, brother.
Oh my gosh, thank you. Okay, so the communist situation.
Yeah.
The CIA, the corrupt CIA. There's probably some good ones out there. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, the CIA used the fear of communism as a tool to get them whatever they wanted. I have tracked this myself. Nobody told me. I see it in what I read. And they know it. And they use it to give, because communism. So they got all their black projects and all their funding. However, there are real communists out there that also took that little avenue, exactly what Brad's saying, that, oh, you guys are being so paranoid now about the communists. They're not really there. They're not really a threat. Enter in the communist teachers into the colleges. Enter in the, you know what I'm saying? Like, it did happen. It did happen. We have a lot of enemies. We have what we've talked about, the Islamic situation. We have the communist situation. We have crazy psycho globalists. We have, we talk about even like the very dark stuff. I don't want to talk about that right now, but we face enemies and it's real. But yeah, the communism situation is real. And I don't even have that right now, but Brad, it was just yesterday, Trump came out and he said that communism is the biggest threat. I think I put it on my page at one point. I'll find it. But he said that, I'll find the video. He says communism is the biggest threat. He said it was bigger than World War I, World War II. He says it's bigger than Pearl Harbor. He was just named all this stuff. And he's like, and 9/11. And he's saying these are big things. But he's like, communism is the worst of them all. So that was a big hint for us understanding what's happening.
Yes.
So he comes out and he says,
I love this post, by the way.
Yeah, dude. Brad, after I read this to him, his reaction, I don't know if I could try to recreate it, but
I'll recreate it in real time. I don't even remember exactly. I'll just react to it again.
So Donald Trump says, the communists are finally making their move. I've been waiting and preparing for this for a long time. It's easy to be a communist. All you have to do is say, I'll give you everything. But that means you're taking it away from others that have earned it. Over thousands of years, the ideology has not worked once. The game is on. Enjoy watching, President Donald Trump.
Oh, man, dude. So first of all, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So I read this probably similarly than everyone else. I don't know why I keep trying to say that word because I screw it up every time. But I got to tell you, there were different forms of the English language. I've learned this from moving from New Jersey to Alaska. Yeah, we're speaking the same language, but there are just different unspoken words. The way you say things matters differently in different areas. There are just different subsets of how to speak the English language. And, someone whose family is from Queens, is born in Queens and grew up right next to Queens and Jersey Shore. And I would like to translate. I have been waiting for this a long time. That is a declaration of war. That is something that is said through your clenched teeth. Like, that is just to hear Donald Trump say this. I can tell you right now, that's not just like, hey, I've been waiting for this a long time. No, that is like, I've been waiting for a long time for this, and I'm gonna fucking crush your life now. Like, that is what that is. That is, go ahead, make my day. That is just Clint Eastwood. That is Trump invoking his inner Clint Eastwood. That is, if you're reading that in the New York vernacular of English, that's a fucking threat right there, dude. That is like, go ahead, guys. You want to make your final move? We will flatten you forever, and we're going to do it regardless. So bring it on.
Bring it freaking on. And because Trump said he'd been waiting for a long time,
Long time.
When I read that, this post came to my mind, and I only know sometimes these things pop in my head because I've used them in videos. So when you're editing, you do the text and you see them a lot. And I was like, I know I've heard this before.
Yes.
So this is Q post 4873. It says Anons were warned years ago of a pending China communist style tactic approaching. So an actual subversion. Trump just posted JFK's famous secret society speech.
That's
where he
wild that
goes,
he posted
subversion instead of elections. Okay. It's a very sneaky tactic. So he's saying this is going to happen. Q told us this almost 6 freaking years ago. They're going to censor and terminate any all dissenting views. And through this, they are not in control of their own platforms. And I was telling Brad about this. Mr. Mark Zuckerberg went to the White House and kissed Trump's ass. You guys remember that? And now Twitter is X, owned by Elon. Every asset deployed. You didn't think this was a conspiracy, did you?
Did you? Yeah. Well, it's funny because it's like Zuckerberg is the one we all, man, literally it became a verb to say you got zucked because you get freaking banned on Facebook for everything. Facebook was the first one in 2019 they didn't ban everyone, but they really perfected their shadow ban where you just couldn't be on there anymore. And I remember I really first started posting all my support for Trump and everything, and even the early Q days was all through Facebook and Facebook groups and stuff like that. And they made it by 2019. I've barely been on there ever again because they perfected it. So not a fan of Mark Zuckerberg, but I swear, just watching these last few years, right? And even he said in those Q posts, this is even during the first term, Zuckerberg's been in here a few times, kissed my ass. Remember you were reminding me of that the other night? And so there's that. And then there's things like Facebook actually did get opened up a little bit back around. He told Joe Rogan that you have that, play this because this is notable. And I'll say even actually before you play this, he also commented on when they tried to assassinate him, how it was triumphant and awesome.
He did
I feel like Zuckerberg wants to be on the right team. I feel like in his heart of hearts, he wishes he could be. And maybe he's just getting more, I guess, emboldened about it. Because a lot of these people are all figureheads, right? They're put in these places. But it seems like he's dying to break free. I don't know. That's just my read on it. But let's play this because this is huge too, to say this on a national podcast.
Yes. And, he was at the fight. Okay. And he did come to the White House twice to, quote, kiss my ass. Trump said that. So when somebody kisses someone's ass, what are you saying? You're apologizing, saying I was wrong. I did something wrong. Please forgive me. So listen to what he tells Joe Rogan about what happened during the censorship when we were all being banned on Facebook for talking about vaccine injuries.
They pushed us super hard to take down things that were true, right? I mean, they basically pushed us and said, anything that says that vaccines might have side effects, you basically need to take down. And I was just like, well, we're not going to do that. Like, we're clearly not going to do that. I mean, that is kind of inarguably true.
Who is they? Who's telling you to take down things that
it was
talk about vaccine side effects?
It was people in the Biden administration. I think these people from the Biden administration would call up our team and like scream at them and curse, and it's like,
so that's wild to me. So he's admitting that the Biden administration was making them remove things. First of all, that's insane. A government telling a private company what to do. That's socialism. Actually it's socialism. Crazy.
Yeah, that's taking over the means of everything. Yeah, and controlling them. Pixie Cox says he had nothing for a backbone. He's a soy boy. Yeah, he definitely. Yeah, I mean, they rolled over, and it was before the Biden administration too. Because, like I said, all those bans and all that real pushback on that came in 2019. Now, granted, there was 2019, Trump had way less control over everything. There was all these holdovers from the Obama administration, and they were just wreaking havoc. The CIA and FBI were basically enemy combatants to his administration all throughout. That guy was up against it the whole time. So you could say the Obama administration, I'm sure a lot of them were pressuring, and they went along with it. But see, now that it's really come around, I could tell it seems like he's at very least trying to hedge his bets and get back and get desperately in the good graces of the people that he screwed over. But there was also that what we call it. It was that leaked message. I guess it was like a Zoom call, maybe not necessarily Zoom itself, but a message with his people.
Mark Zuckerberg.
During the vaccine time, where he told them I wouldn't take that.
Yes.
So I'm telling you, like, even though he's weak and he let it all happen, I think he wishes he could be on the right side of things. That's just my read. I'm not saying I necessarily accept him or anyone else should, but he very much seems like he wants to be where we are.
Yeah, he wants to be on the right side of history before shit hits the fan.
Yeah, and this is a good point too. Curious Cat bringing up the 500 million that he put in towards the 2020 election. So a lot of it could be just saving face, right?
Yes,
probably
dude.
What it is mostly. Yeah, because that's that's egregious right there. Even if he was pressured to do that, and no one's saying that he necessarily was, but even if that was pressured, that affected a huge part of what I think led to stealing the 2020 election. Was that money? A lot of it went to drop boxes. A lot of it went through different organizations that wreaked havoc.
Yep. And it was my Facebook account that was taken down. It wasn't over the vaccines. I was posting things about Hunter Biden from his laptop. And Facebook literally, it wasn't even a warning, guys. My account gone. It's just gone. You can't find it. It doesn't exist. I'm like, okay, so that really hit a nerve there. So, and I have video of a Biden's press secretary, the black lady with curly hair or whatever. Oh, she was, whatever her name was. She was so annoying. But anyway, she goes, we are actively censoring for the Biden administration. Remember that when she admits it? And so these things have leaked out over time. They have admitted that they were actively censoring
for Facebook,
stories.
right?
Yep.
That was specifically for Facebook. Jen Psaki, right? She said that.
Jen. That's who it was. The communist one. She wore the commie hat. I can't get over that.
New Case says, if Zuck gives me a couple billion, I might forgive him. To ease his suffering. Listen, there are ways that would be brought in with open arms, and that's pretty much the only way it's going to happen. So,
yeah. Well, I saw a picture. The people got after Representative Luna. She took a picture standing next to Mark at the fight, and I was interesting. I'm like, you guys have. First of all, this is the other thing, guys. I come on here. I try to report the best news I can, but I am telling you. The Trump administration is probably only showing 20-30% of what they're doing. The rest is behind the scenes. Hello?
Yeah, and it's funny because some of it's not even that it's purposely behind the scenes. It's just not reported on by anyone. Yeah.
So we'll see.
It gets no fanfare. In fact, you know what? Let me jump. Can I jump to Secretary Wright's comments for that? Because
Yes.
This is something that I thought was really fascinating to me and cool. That, again, this is something that gets zero coverage. These sort of things, they're not the flashy objects, so they kind of fly under the radar. But it's a testament to the total dismantling of the cabal system that they've built up. The way they built most of it up was with regulations and just stifling progress. And we've been opening up everything. He says President Trump's Working Families Tax Cut Act is restoring law, common sense, reducing expenses, and increasing American innovation in areas from federal land leasing to actualizing the American nuclear renaissance. I'm very excited about this trajectory. guys, you'll be happy. This is basically has zero sound. You have to turn your volume to 1,000 to hear it. So I did download it and gave it a volume boost. And so let's listen to this, and then we're going to talk about a little bit more in depth of what he's referring to.
In the Working Families Tax Cut Act, it also restored the law. We have these federal lands. It's in the law that you offer leases for them. There's great controls on how those are funded. In fact, a lot of our wilderness preservation is funded from royalties for development of oil, gas, and minerals on federal lands. So just so many common sense things were brought back in. Representative Evans mentioned the reductions in expenses. We're relaunching a nuclear renaissance in this country. I just came from Idaho National Labs. We've turned on 2 next-generation small modular reactors, the first non-light water reactors, meaning different reactor technology, to go critical in over 40 years. We'll have a 3rd one this week, maybe even a 4th one, meeting President Trump's aggressive goal that America can do great things again, and it can do them with speed if you just unleash Americans, unleash innovators, unleash capitalists. And so very excited.
Very cool stuff there. And what Secretary Wright's speaking about is the Working Families Tax Cut that was signed last year and the positives that are coming to fruition with it. We know it as the Big Beautiful Bill. Okay. And this was signed almost exactly a year ago. It was July of 2025. And there are a lot of things, right? So we know a lot of the big headlines from it. It made Trump's 2017 tax cuts permanent, expanded the child tax credit, standard deduction, it's small business deductions, and included no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. So, those are the things we know. But it also contained very energy specific provisions. And that's what is now coming to fruition, what Wright is talking about. So for starters, it lowered the federal onshore oil and gas royalty rate back to the traditional 12.5%. It had Biden had pumped it up to 16.67%, which so now bringing it back to normal is obviously reducing cost for producers. It also has encouraged more leasing and drilling. They reinstated non-competitive leasing options where parcels that receive no bids or bids below the minimum could then be offered non-competitively. It mandates more frequent regular lease sales on federal lands, quarterly in certain states. And basically what the no bids is basically with the non-competitive leasing options is usually there's a bidding war for a lot of these parcels. And so typically when that doesn't happen or it just comes in below rate, then they can award it to different people where it doesn't have to go through the bid. So, but first it obviously gets the chance to be outbid by someone. So that was the fact that you do away with that was really, really doing away with a lot more people. So these changes aim to increase the domestic production of oil, gas, minerals, while generating revenue shared with states, then by making it easier and cheaper for companies to secure federal land for drilling / mining when competitive bids don't materialize. This will also boost domestic production, investment, jobs, energy, security overall, and as part of the American energy dominance. So this is exactly what is starting to happen. The nuclear part that Secretary Wright was referring to, this is happening in the Idaho National Laboratory. This is the famous place where they're always testing and new nuclear technologies, right? For probably 40, 50 years at this point. So that they do it a lot under this thing called the dome. Here, check this out. This is where a lot of it is done in there.
Whoa. Wait, you went so fast. Let me look at it again.
There we go.
What's going on in there?
This is at the Idaho National Laboratory. So if you hear them when they're talking about nuclear, talk about the dome. That's the dome right there.
That's awesome. Okay, cool.
I know it looks pretty metal, right?
Literally metal.
No pun intended. So, yeah, this is the center of the Trump administration's push for a nuclear renaissance, which again was something we've talked about a few times on the show already, with the small modular reactors, the SMRs, or micro reactors, if you will. So on June 4th, well, I guess we'll go back. As part of the big, beautiful bill, they gave a 1-year deadline, which really fast-tracked a lot of this, because a lot of times this takes decades. But they wanted in this program to fast-track it, to remove a lot of the barriers so they can really get this going. And it was given a 1-year deadline. And on June 4th, the Antares nuclear hit the Mark 0 microreactor, achieved criticality, and that's the point where a sustained nuclear chain reaction begins, and they were able to do it where it's giving off almost no heat. This is one of the big barriers they're trying to find, where it is cooling aspects.
Wow.
So they achieved that June 4th, a month early. And again, there's another one that just came through, and there's 2 more on deck, and it's
This June 4th?
Yeah, it's blowing away. Yeah, June 4th. So it was given a deadline for, I think, July 4th. So it came in a whole month ahead of time, one of them. There's actually another one that just went, these are the tests, right? But now that these are through, they should have this ready to go by next year. So that is pretty wild. So SMRs will be potentially active and running. They're saying 2027 in general. So you say at least by the end of 2027, which is massive. Dude, we haven't had new nuclear reactors. I think there was a couple, was it Gen 3s in the early 90s, and then everything else is Gen 2. They're so great, but these are portable. You could move them on a tractor trailer to different areas. There's even working on even smaller ones for communities, places like us, rural communities, that'd be huge for. And again, anytime you're improving nuclear energy, that's going to reverberate. Now, some of these, this was the first nuclear test reactor, right, to go critical under DOE's reactor pilot program, and a huge step towards the American nuclear renaissance. It's also noteworthy, too, that some of the nuclear advancements that these are setting the stage for are long-term help. This is kind of something I touched on a little earlier. That shows to me how real Trump is. He's not playing the short, immediate dopamine hit progress game, although there have been endless in real-time booms as well, but he's also setting us up for the future. That shows real intent. It is the genuine ushering in of a new era in American history. This is all these people are so sensitive. They're only looking at things that can push their career forward. That's why no one's looking long-term, these politicians and everyone. But the fact that they're doing this, like the effects of a lot of these nuclear programs won't be felt to the 2030s on a large scale anyway, right? There'll be little mini things. But as far as like full scale implementation, where you start really feeling what it's like to have energy be a lot cheaper, at least produced on a large scale, and that'll start reverberating on other ways. That's not going to be felt to the mid 2030s, long after Trump is out of office, maybe. But cheaper abundant nuclear energy is something that reverberates across all fields. Many industries who rely on natural gas and oil for heat, these things also produce heat as well as energy. And even in industries like steel plants who use high heat, these needs can be replaced by SMRs. A whole litany of gas and oil powered entities will be powered by SMRs in the future, which will greatly reduce the need for oil and gas, which will, of course, then reverberate. And the less of a need there is for it, the less price that can be demanded, especially by places like OPEC, but even abroad, right? So in the short term, things like reinstating non-competitive leasing options for gas and oil companies that we were just mentioning, lowering the federal onshore and oil gas royalty rate, and mandating more lease sales on federal land will and already have started to increase American oil production, which will also work to lower family costs. And then this will also then be a long-term options. And this was all set into motion with the working families tax cut, or like I said, the big, beautiful bill. And it's just part of a whole bunch of things that you really don't hear about that are all happening in the background while all the flashy sellable things are happening. So man, everything Trump is doing, this is a real push towards a golden age.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And everything we went through, it's like that's how you do know it's real, because he's setting it up long term for the future for us to literally become futuristic. Having free energy, or basically energy that's just forever, I don't know how much the nuclear, I don't know any of that science behind it, but I know it's giving off a lot of energy that can be used. And that's going to change the control system of the global cabal on people on the planet. Okay. So if you can be self-sustainable, well, first of all, just our country alone. But I feel like eventually I seen Zero, I think that's how you say your name here in my chat. He goes, eventually each home will have their own nuclear reactor. I feel that, man. I have thought in my head to the very end of this, where we just have little pocket, little reactor things that we could just hook up and charge things, right? I mean, because why not? If we could figure out the technology with nano 3D printing, with the ability to make things insanely small but still completely capable, the sky is not the limit. We can just go. So it's super exciting.
That's a great point, actually, too, babe. With the 3D printing, when you can start implementing your own these own power stations, or even if just your town, I think that's what will happen first, is towns will get these and the whole town will just have cheap energy. And then you could also start really making more popular big 3D printers. You could almost be your own manufacturing plant for whatever you want. And it could just change the thing. Some of these SMRs, they don't need to be refueled for 5 to 10 years. Upwards of 10 years, they don't need refueling.
Let's go. That's awesome.
And we have uranium right here in America. And then obviously we know in Canada, thanks to the Uranium One scandal, but the Americas have lots of uranium.
Yeah. And I was just going to say about just the energy thing. Who was it that was saying it? Somebody, it was Anon. Anyway, somebody was basically, you don't know history. Breaking history is happening when you're in it. It just seems like a regular headliner. It was a digital sweller. I think it was who said it. But you're not knowing it's happening right now until you move out of it. And then you're going to look back and you're like, look at all the foundations that Trump put into place to get us to where we are now. I always think of a house with a foundation of concrete. Me and Brad talked about these things, with homesteading and stuff. You have the core of everything is the foundation. So he is literally setting us up for long term, well after he is gone. And it's just so beautiful, man. What a patriot. It's just so amazing. And yes, energy is where it's at. We're energy dominant. They always say that, right? Yeah. And that's how we break free from that system that has enslaved us. We are literally freeing the planet. This is what the Great Awakening really is about. And it's just exciting. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's super exciting. It's so awesome, man. And some of these work on uranium that is enriched almost up to 20%, which, again, typically only meant weapons grade, but typical reactors are 3 to 5% enriched, but some of these are now going to be even higher. And I think that's why they're able to go for 5 to 10 years without being refueled. And there's different cooling methods. And like you're saying, the fact that, Donald Trump's legacy is already set in stone, but just setting these things up when we do step away from it in the future and look back, it will have changed everything.
We're living in the future, guys.
Living in the future. I'm going to take a minute to read an ad, but right after that, I have an announcement about a special thing we're going to be doing post episode.
After the stream.
You're definitely going to want to stick around. I'll give you that announcement right after this and message from our friends at Rumble Wallets. So we hear a lot about crypto, but here's the part that most people miss. Crypto was created so you could actually own your own money. After the 2008 financial crisis, Bitcoin was designed as an alternative to banks. So instead of bank holding your money, delaying transfers, or limiting access, you're in control. And if you've ever had to wait for a transfer to clear, you felt that problem. Now, fast forward to today, everyone's heard of crypto, but getting started still feels complicated. Now, that's exactly why I use Rumble Wallet. It takes all that complexity and makes it simple. Choose what you want: Bitcoin, dollar-backed stable coins, or even digital gold backed by real gold. No complicated setup. Connects you with MoonPay, so you can use your credit card, debit card, or bank and be up and running in minutes. Once you're all set up, you can even support your favorite Rumble creators like us directly. So do this now. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description and download Rumble Wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap buy, and you're in the game. In just a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some. And well, what we're going to announce also has to do with Rumble. If there was a Rumble Premium ad, I would have read that, because we are going to, right after the show, we're going to try a new feature. I'm going to immediately, it'll be on my Rumble, on Where We Go When We Go All Rumble channel, or at Brad CGZ, where we will be doing a premium stream for call-ins. So if you want to comment on any of these topics tonight, or I see a lot of people are talking about different things with the small modular reactors, or just energy dominance as well, or any of the other things we've talked about, America 250. You guys could call in and we could have a conversation about it. I tested it last night. It seems to be pretty easy, as long as you have a Rumble account and or a Rumble Premium account, I should say. And we're going to do that right after. So there'll probably be a 2-minute gap where I'm making the stream real fast, and that'll be over on my Rumble. And so little post-stream call in, and it's fun, man. See, you get some wild conversations. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. So we'll be doing that weekly from now on, starting after the show. And with that said,
wait, real quick though.
On to the next part of the show. Well, why don't you take me, my lovely wife, to our next part?
Okay. Oh, I was just gonna say, concerning what you're saying, everybody in my chat, I love you all. I see 63 people in here live, so that's a rock and roll. I think we're breaking numbers right now, guys. We're breaking numbers. I put Brad's channel right there in chat. Click it, follow him, because that's where I'm going to be. I won't be going live here. We're going to be going to Brad's, and then you guys can call in. We could actually talk about it. And the other thing is, we are going to talk about all of this. We want to keep it on topic, right? Obviously, all the stuff we're talking about here. And then we also have a really interesting thing that even very hardcore patriots might have differing views. It's going to be fun to see your guys' take, because it was a deeper thought that I had. And Brad's like, let's do a conversation. So anyways, definitely follow Brad. Don't miss it. And with that being said, Dr. Trump is going to tell you, he's going to tell you how to fix your Trump derangement syndrome. So this is absolutely funny. Gunther Engelman did put it out. It's a hat tip, but Thanksgiving now posted it. And he says, an important message from Dr. Trump regarding Trump's derangement syndrome.
This is very important, guys.
Have you or someone you know been diagnosed with TDS? The symptoms can be relentless. Fortunately, I'm Dr. Trump, and I have a treatment plan. Let's hear what some of my patients have to say.
I have been suffering for over a decade, and after listening to Dr. Trump, I can see some results.
Man, I've been suffering for years. I really didn't believe that was help out there. That was when I came across this video on TV.
I really thought I was a lost cause. This was gonna affect me for the rest of my life. But after using the treatment plan, I can see a difference.
I really wasn't sure I could help some of these people. They were so far gone, I wasn't really sure.
I had no idea how much this was affecting my life. My work is slowed down. I'm hardly recognizable anymore. I just needed help.
I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. Constantly angry. I made everyone miserable around me.
I feel like I've aged 20 years in the last 2 years. I've been so concerned. I was really starting to worry about my future.
The treatment is simple. Turn off. Fake news. Say your prayers, and if you ever feel anxious, just have a Diet Coke like me, and you're going to see a remarkable difference in your life.
Have a Coke and a smile and shut the fuck up, as Eddie Murphy has said. Oh, wait, was that taken down?
I don't know. I don't know what I was doing wrong. I was like behind the scenes. But wasn't that freaking great? And it's just, we really do face that, guys. It's funny because I will step back sometimes, and I'll just, because I just observe the earth and people in the world. And I'm like, how could there be people? Because we know brainwash is real, okay? Brainwash is real. Because how could there be people that are mad that Trump is fixing up the reflection pool or adding a ballroom to the White House or freaking making a giant celebration for we have to be mad about everything. That doesn't make sense. Any kind of improvement, it's natural human nature to like that. We like clean things. We like big buildings that are beautiful. We like to go to events and party. Who could not like that? So that these people, when they hate Trump,
miserable losers,
there is something deep within them that is hating good, which is hating, the Bible verse, whatever is the fruits of spirit, whatever is good, whatever is pure, what is lovely, whatever is honorable, whatever is of good cheer, dwell and think upon these things. God is telling us to put our mindset in that state of mind. And what are these people? Oh, look at what he's doing. And they've tried to throw him in jail. What was that they did? The indictment, they did twice to him. They tried to assassinate him. When I say they, it is because even if they programmed certain young kids to hate Trump, it doesn't matter. It's their propaganda. So they are all involved, the fake news. So it's just wild. But I love that we're on the other end of it and we can see it. And now everybody else waking up can see it. And obviously the enemy is real. We know that. But we don't have to be afraid of them. Don't be afraid. Like, no fear. You remember that brand, babe? No fear.
Oh, yeah, no fear.
Yeah.
That was like a skating brand, right?
It was cool. Everybody had the hats here. That had like a fox on it or something. I don't know. It was cool.
For me, that was in the 90s. So for you guys, it's probably the early 2000s.
Oh, yeah, because we're all behind like 10 years here in Alaska. We found this out. It's so funny. Because I'll be like, oh, yeah, that was like a cool hit song. He's like, bro, that was a hit song like 10 years ago.
It's less now because everything's so integrated. But it is funny. And when Abby will talk about things in her childhood, we actually had the same things happen like 5 years earlier. Hey, should I talk about? Do you want to go to what Trump was saying about the midterms?
Yes. I just have these few things. So yeah, these are just some extra. Although I don't know, babe. I was thinking maybe we could play that video I played to you, the Road to Liberty, the video by the White House.
Oh about George Washington. I would love to.
Okay,
we should definitely play that towards the end.
Yeah. Okay. So you go ahead.
So this is cool. It's unique again. Changing the game, President Trump. This is big news. For the first time ever, the Republican Party will hold a midterm convention. It'll be in Dallas, Texas, one of my favorite places in the world. It'll be fantastic. It has never been done before and will be a truly historic event. We're going to celebrate the great American comeback, yes, and the incredible successes of the American people who transformed our country through the America First agenda. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security, stronger borders, safe forever communities, lower costs and real affordability, more jobs, American energy dominance, which we were just going through, and so much more. Oil prices are dropping sharply. They are starting to drop, actually. Even as we denuclearize Iran, we are delivering on the promises that politicians talked about for decades, but never got done. At the event, we will have hardworking Americans, our great innovators, entrepreneurs, manufacturers, first responders, and job creators who are powering our nation's golden age and proving that America's best days are still yet ahead of us. Everything's being put in place right now.
The best is yet to come.
We'll also have a lot of great entertainment. It will be a rally like none other. America's 250th birthday is approaching, and together we are building the foundation for the next 250 years of American greatness. Dallas will take center stage on September 9th and 10th as we celebrate our nation, our achievements, and our bright future. The golden age of America has only just begun. President Donald J. Trump. I have to agree. A lot of these things are setting everything up, a foundation to really go crazy. And we've studied, right? We've studied how they locked America down and how they built up their new world order over time. It took them a lot of time. I'd say it really solidified its foundation with Woodrow Wilson. So that's going back to the 19 teens. That's the guy, he helped build the Council on Foreign Relations with his main advisor, Edward Mandell House. Huge. He started the War Propaganda Council. That model has been repeated many times. And that was with George Creel and Edward Bernays, who wrote the book literally on how to propagandize and use group dynamics to steer societies. That started during. He's the one who he came up with the idea for the League of Nations, which was the prototype for the United Nations. He signed the 16th Amendment, which started federal income tax. He is the one who signed the Federal Reserve Act of 1913. I mean, this guy laid the foundation for everything, right? And then you fast forward 30 years, FDR, he really solidified it. He brought in all these socialist type programs with the New Deal and the first gun control. And boy, he was the two of them in you'd say about a 40-year period were a devastating 1-2 punch for a free America. And that set up everything for what we're going through. So they were able to build off that. And again, everyone saw communism creeping right after that, creeping in. And Senator McCarthy warned about it, although, eventually that was talked about in a bad light. And then Johnson came in and started doing more socialist type programs by really taking the welfare world and ramping it up. And they pretty much ruined entire communities with that and enslaved entire communities. And then Clinton came in and he basically took away, well, before that, Carter, God, he gave the whole country away. He was, that's part of what led to what happened in Iran that we're dealing with right now. That's neither here nor there. But then Clinton came in and he really ramped up a lot of stuff that kind of took power away from parents. And with NAFTA, he set in motion what sent all our manufacturing away. They've all chipped away one by one over the years. And until Obama came in, it was pretty much nail in the coffin time. Hillary really would have been the nail in the coffin.
Oh, yeah.
So peeling this back has taken some time, but Trump did a whole ton of stuff in his first administration. He created a movement that will now never die, that held us through the Biden administration, that held strong. And now in this second administration, he is just doing stuff on a global scale, domestic scale, and energy dominance scale. He is setting us up. He is building the foundation for a resurgence in patriotic America. Respect.
It's just so freaking cool because he did say foundation. You're right there, building the foundation. We were just talking about that.
Trump
He's a
knows about
builder.
that. Yep.
He's a builder. He knows all about what you got to do. That's why he had to gut him out, right? Remember, they got to gut out the deep state.
Yes.
That means, not to get too descriptive, but when you're cleaning an animal, you got to rip it all out or else it's going to ruin everything else. It's going to ruin your meat. So you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to clean house is what the Q team would say. Now, Brad.
Yeah.
Hold on. Can I share this? All right. This is a Delta for today. I just had to read it because it's so good.
I love it. I get the Delta updates every morning for Babby.
So it says, this is, I think, in a non-talking to Q, and they go, I see what's happening, but I'd like to see you guys doing something about it already. Okay, but I think it's just the parallels that we're facing now.
Yeah.
Do something. It's like, shut up. Go to your room. We're doing everything. You are blind. You are dumb. You are deaf. You are not seeing what the Trump administration is doing, or you are. And then that means you're against it. So those are very suspicious.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we know all of this. We are helpless to it all. That's a weird statement. You're not helpless to it all. So the real question, Q, is, do you see what is happening? This is what Q says. Fear not. We are not helpless. Enough must see. It is the only way. You are being presented with the gift of vision. Guess who's being presented with that right now? All of us. All the way that Trump's communicating to us right now, the White House, all the department, labor, energy. We have vision. We see what they're doing. They're talking to us. Ability to see clearly what they've hid from you for so long. Illumination. Their deception, their dark actions are on full display. Coming for you, Tim Walz. People are waking up in mass. People are no longer blind. Do you think it's a coincidence they banned and prevent you attending church, house of worship, anti-American, anti-God? One must only look to see. Have faith in humanity. Have faith in yourself. Let light guide you. Find peace through prayer. Biblical. Q. It's just so real, guys. Isn't this cool? It's just, we're here. We are real patriots fighting a battle. It started as digital. Then we learned the real evil out there, guys. We learned about it. And then we know God is real and God is with us. And the Constitution is so beautiful because the Constitution is biblical in the fact that in the Declaration of Independence, it says that they do believe that under God, all men are created equal, and we are endowed by our Creator with unalienable rights. No man, no government, nobody can take this away from you. Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. No one, right? That's what we need to feel in our chest when we hear the anthem. We need to just, Anyways, that's what's happening. And Trump is doing what he said, Brad, pinging everybody, pinging the anons. It is time. Arise.
Arise. Yes. It is definitely time. And they've been saying that, right? Locked in. Now's the time.
We're locked in.
And as we're seeing, it's all ramping up. So it's a beautiful thing. The Supreme Court has been kicking ass. Obviously, some people are not happy that they upheld the birthright citizenship. I could go either way on that one because it's been definitely it's been hijacked and used for nefarious reasons, but also I think if we're born here, right, we should be citizens. I think that's probably what they went with. But other than that, they took off restrictions for political spending, which is going to help Trump a lot. They just ruled against men playing in women's sports. That's freaking, I mean, it's like a no-brainer, but it's also huge. But they also, let me pull this up on screen here. Now, this is from yesterday. This happened. This is a big win just moments ago at Supreme Court in the Slaughter case, confirming presidential power in our country to remove executive branch officers and agency appointees or representatives under Article 2. Its decision was a long sought by United States presidents dating back to the 30s. Such an honor to be the sitting president who won this historic, unprecedented ruling, one of the most important ever, given with respect to presidential powers. Thank you for this attention to this matter. Okay, so this is a massive win over the deep state because, again, like we were just saying, Trump's first term, there were so many holdouts from the Obama administration who just bore down on him. It was like they were at war with this freaking guy. I can't believe we got anything done, let alone the insane amount of stuff. So this is about the case for Rebecca Slaughter, okay, where he went to get rid of her and she was saying, you can't get rid of me, blah, blah, blah. I'm protected. So the court ruling gives the president broad constitutional authority under Article 2 to remove principal officers who exercise executive power. This includes heads and members of many independent agencies at will without needing to show cause. Now President Trump can say, you are an un-American communist, goodbye, and remove them. So this includes, again, so many people, but this was with when he fired FTC Commissioner Rebecca Slaughter, that kicked this off. So some of the key agencies affected include the FTC, the FCC, NLRB, the SEC, and others with similar for-cause removal protections. The ruling significantly supports the idea that the president must have full control over the executive branch, and that is how it was always intended to be. And now it is in writing via the Supreme Court. Absolutely epic, man.
Dude.
That was a big one yesterday. So very cool stuff happening everywhere all the time. How could you not love it?
We love it.
Says, I saw you hosting a different show by yourself last week. I think it was evening. Yeah, I jumped on Saturday. I'm going to do that randomly. Probably not going to schedule it. Reason when a lot of times when I'm beholden to schedule, it just throws me off. So, there's times where I got a lot to say where I'm just going to jump on, and that will be.
There's times when Brad sees things. Yeah, there's times that Brad sees things, and then he gets very passionate because it's real and it's raw. He's like, I gotta make a video about this, or I gotta whatever. And you going live is gonna be great. Yeah, because that's what we're supposed to do. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I just love how you do get, and I love the way that you break things down. It's much needed, and yeah, dude, exciting. Now I have this one video to close out with, but I don't know if we're there yet.
Well, did you want to talk about the voter ID with Rep Luna?
Oh, I closed those things out. Yes, I will.
Because I was hoping, because that was what we're going to spawn that conversation that we were talking about.
Oh, my bad. All right. Yes, let me share this.
I think.
Okay. Now, this is really, really cool. Let me. So I'm a little discombobulated because I did that. Okay. So Representative Anna Luna, absolutely love this woman. Everybody going against her doesn't listen to her. You need to listen to her to know what she's saying. She is actually not dumb.
People go against
very
Rep Luna?
Freaking smart. And
I don't see anyone going against Rep Luna.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
Oh, who cares? You know what? Those people, man, they're paid to do that. That's I think I have the filter on for all these psychos.
I love it. Yeah. All right. So what she wants to do, and it caught my ear, is that she wants to wedge the proof of citizenship, this and the voter ID into the National Defense Authorization Act. So listen to what she says. She said this before in a different video, but this was just put out, I believe, today.
Why not do the MERV, and why not put voter ID plus proof of citizenship, which is literally a 90-10 issue. Everyone in the country wants this. Every time we are traveling, every time people call my office, every time this is a fundamental thing that makes every American feel like our elections, our vote matters, and that they're safe and secure. And so to say that this isn't germane to something called the National Defense Authorization Act, as a veteran, this is fundamental in securing our elections and has to do with national security. Okay, so I'm not betting on it, but I'm not the only one. There was other issues that other members had, but the fact that I'm being singled out because I know procedure, I'm not stupid. I'm going to fight on behalf of the American people. And as you saw with the Supreme Court rulings, in the last couple of days, this is a very important issue. So I'm willing, I'm saying I will vote for the rule if you allow my amendment for voter ID plus proof of citizenship to be placed into the text of the NDAA. They're saying they won't, so now that you saw what happened on the floor.
The Senate's planning on passing
Okay, so she's been doing, her and that other guy, I'm sorry that I don't know his name, but they're trying to find ways to get around Congress, okay?
Yeah, because they don't want to pass the Save America Act. Yeah.
And we need to protect our elections, because it always comes back to that, right? We'll be like, well, why is this bad stuff happening in this state? And why are we getting all these communist type people voted in? How is that happening? We wouldn't vote that. It's because I believe a lot of them are rigged. Okay. And so those are not true representatives of the people or governors or whoever, right? So when she said that, it's funny because this is a delta for today as well. And it says, how do you prevent public embarrassment, lack of crowd size? Okay, so this is, I'm assuming, talking about possibly Biden. Okay, so how do you continue the fake polling lead? Okay, so if they were in control of the fake news, they can make it look like Biden was the lead, right? How do you support mail-in ballot election fraud? And this is the talking point. Election was not rigged. All polls showed Biden had double-digit lead versus POTUS.
Right, yeah.
You remember those memes that it showed them both peeing, and then the one went,
Right.
it's so funny. All right. Who benefits the most? Is this about the virus or the election? But the key thing I wanted to focus on was the mail-in ballot fraud, because that is what is continuing to be talked about. Trump is just it was like yesterday, he was talking about that. He's like, this is how they're doing it. They're using these mail-in ballots. And so basically we just need the public to see this and understand this is how they did it. We need the public in a way. So look, Trump's going to do what he's going to do as president, right? And he has executive orders and powers, but he would very much like the public consent. And they've kept us thinking there's way less MAGA than there is. There's a lot of us. How did they do it? Fake news. That's what they're saying. How did they do this fake polling lead? Or the fake just all of a sudden? No, that was all fake. It wasn't real. I really actually would like to know who really voted for Biden. Wouldn't that be funny?
That'd be crazy. Listen, there's some sick individuals out there. Did you see I'll tell you who did. Everyone who was riding around Seattle. Did you see that naked? They had a naked pride parade in Seattle. Someone shot one of them with a BB gun, although he's about to get in a lot of trouble.
Okay. So. I heard that. I'm sorry. I thought that was funny. I was talking to my dad about it. I said, let's just switch it to paintball guns. If we switch it to paintballs, we'd probably be okay.
Yeah, because if a BB hits the right way, it can hurt, definitely. But, it could actually, technically, kill you. It's not going to. But I think that guy, unfortunately, it was really funny, but he is being charged, I think, with some serious shit for it, which... Seattle, Washington's crazy, but you can't go shooting people with BB guns. But like, I can't believe we live in a world where that's a thing. And they're riding around kids and stuff. That's grooming. This is what we talk about when we say the left enable pedo groomers.
Yes.
Where is the world where if you go down anywhere for this matter, but especially an avenue in a major city naked, you are instantly thrown in jail, right to freaking jail. Who cares? Oh, but I'm gay. So what? Wait, okay. And I am Tony. Who cares? What the frick,
Yeah, we've talked about that before. We've talked about this, Brad. I'll try to summarize it. The sad thing about, and I think the old original gay community was not like this. So I think there might be some based OG gay community, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I would.
But then there is this new one that's like, we're gay, so our identity is sex. What? Yeah. That'd be like me and Brad, literally the same way. We're married, man, women, but our identity is sex. That's weird. That's not who we are. Yeah, that's literally all they're embracing. And they're like, look at my dildos, look at my things.
Yeah,
you are.
They dance around with them on their heads. They dance around with them on their freaking heads. Do you see that? The one came out of the freaking library. It was dressed like a clown tranny with a dildo on their head. And you're just like, how the F is this of real life? Could you imagine that? I hear this. There was a famous story in my family where my Aunt Millie got robbed and my grandfather grabbed a hammer and started running full speed down the road. and probably would have got his ass thrown in jail even then, even then in the freaking 60s or 50s, whatever it happened. But that was just how men conducted themselves in their neighborhoods back in the day. Could you imagine? I would just love to see if we ever get AI to the point where they can just recreate potential scenes. Like, let's go to Corona, Queens in 1957 and put on a gay pride parade with people, you know, with the lewd ones, right? And not just normal people dancing, but like whatever, like the shit that just happened in Seattle, and see what happens. It would be a bloodbath. It would actually be really freaking nuts to watch. But it's like, holy crap, where do we live now? That is not insta jail.
Yeah, and it's such a degradation of society and ethics and morals. Because see, there's a reason why Adam and Eve were covered. That was the first sacrifice. God killed an animal. I don't know what the animal was, but to clothe them. Okay. And it's because they were exposed to sin. So yes, I like how Q says there's way more good people than bad, and that we do know God says the truth is written on our hearts. So I do believe everyone is born with a conscience. But we are also we are also have animalistic nature to us, and it is appropriate to cover, to protect. Does this make any sense? I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying, but it's how a society advances. We're not some animal apes running around naked. Like, what the heck is that about? We need to advance. We need to not degrade. Like that's going backwards. Okay. Like, I don't even know where it's going. It's going somewhere bad. But yeah, so it's just, I just see it as, it's just immoral. It's just, and then the one thing that really gets me about it, Brad, and you know, when they bring out the people and they're like walking around like dogs, like half naked with the chains and whatever, like the bondage stuff.
Weird.
And then they bring the kids right there and they, I'm petting the doggy. I feel like I want to snatch that baby up and protect them. Like, you have no idea of the mother thing in me that I'm like, no, protect this child. These people are predators. And I don't know, like, I can't say for every one of them, but it's wrong. It's just, my heart tells me that is so wrong. And yeah, so that's wrong. Again, I'm not trying to attack the gay people out there. I'm not for that, but I understand there was the older ones. And then there's this trans believe in false realities group, right? That's really bad. It's like,
yeah, it's toxic cancer to society. It's part of it's part of the degrading of who we are. And honestly, they shouldn't be allowed to have gay parades anymore. They just shouldn't, because you are celebrating, even if they're done right, it's a parade about sex. It's about butt sex, no less. So you're doing a parade either way, even if you're doing it completely right and you're fully clothed, which will never friggin' happen because they're all half naked anyway, even the ones who aren't fully naked or being lewd. It's a parade. What is gay? What is being gay boiled down to? Butt sex. Like, it's funny to say, but it's like, you know, that's just disgusting. And it's just, even just promoting awareness that this is a thing. This goes to your society. It goes to your children. They shouldn't be allowed to be parades anymore. It certainly shouldn't be allowed to be lewd around children. That oh my God. But it doesn't necessarily need to be illegal. This is a free country, right? If people want to love who they want to love, that's one thing. But we just can't do it. Not in the public square anymore. That has to be done away with. It's too far.
Yeah. So he was talking about, knocks my socks off, says my elders were right. Let the gays out of the closet and they'll be after our kids. Well, yeah. And that's the thing, that they were in the closet before, and maybe that's better that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't know. It's one of those things, like, that bag's already been opened, but we do see that slippery slope where it leads. And, you know, and that's the whole thing with Trump. Like, we want to bring back good morals. Like, the foundation. What's the foundation of a good society, good morals? Guess what? It's because people won't rob you, people won't steal, people won't lie. Why? Because they have good morals. They have a foundation. And that's what we really need to be doing. And we have to do it just ourselves. Like, I have to be the foundation around people and be like, no, I don't agree with that. And not be mean, not be rude, but be that firm person that's like, no, I'm not going to let my morals and my standards go away, you know? So
be a good example. I like that.
Yeah, be a good example. I think it's a lot of, we're all called to do that really technically as Christians. So.
All right, and now I'll change the subject before we throw up. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on that rant, but it's just like it's crazy.
True,
I can't believe I'm seeing these videos on X. I'm like just trying to scroll as fast as I can. Yeah, it's just like, good Lord, dude.
Yeah,
but maybe we'll take a minute here for one of our sponsors before we go on to the. Should we go on to the final topic after that?
Well, we have this video from the White House. It is 5 minutes. And then do you want us to put out the topic here and then we're going to talk about it in the next stream? Because I think people would enjoy it.
Yeah, all right. Because the next stream is going to be the call-in stream where, the premium call-in stream for after discussion. So I think we should talk about it here.
Okay.
And then people can call in and talk about any of the topics that were on this, just to keep it all free. Yeah. And before we do that, maybe I'll tell you guys about Trinova Health. So Access Med, powered by Trinova Health, is a revolutionary telehealth service that offers fast, free online evaluations and free home delivery of customized compounded medications, offering custom weight loss support, ivermectin therapy, hair restoration, cosmetic rejuvenation, custom ED treatments, and more. You can complete your visit in less than 10 minutes, and there's no subscriptions or reoccurring fees ever. We've made getting started easier than ever. Simply follow the link, choose the product or treatment you're interested in, and then complete a quick online evaluation. Within days, your custom meds will arrive to your door. Mention Rumble in the coupon code and get 10% off your first treatment. Now, reintroducing my wife.
All right. So before we jump into that, we should play this video. And
were we gonna close out with that video, or
yes, okay, then that's what we'll do. That's a good idea.
Yeah, because that'll be good. That'll give me a chance to get my ducks in a row. I'll be making the new stream after this. Once this stream ends, then I will make that on my Rumble. That's Rumble with Brad CGZ, or where we go when we go all. Either one will bring you there. And yeah, that'll be starting probably within 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. We'll get it up there and we'll hang out.
And you guys can call in. And everybody in my chat. Everybody in my chat. I'll put the link back in there again. You got to go over to Brad's though, because that's where I'm going to be. I'm going to be jumping in his StreamYard or something. Something's going to happen. And you guys get to call in and talk to us. So it'd be great. So this is the topic. This is the topic we're going to talk about, but we can also talk about everything we talked about here. It's really important as a community to just grow and think for ourselves. Q said, this is the biggest thing we can do, guys, is think for ourselves. So this was spurred on because I'm like, basically, I'll tell you what was my mind. Like the cabal, Illuminati, all these people, they're evil. They do all this stuff in secret. They're all hidden agendas, whatever. Enough. We need the truth, dark to light, no more secrets. Boom. Right? Sounds good, and it is good, and that's what we want. However, there's another side to this.
Yes.
There is security, right? The Fourth Amendment, right to privacy. We don't want to give out our nuclear codes. We can't give out our bank password. That's a secret. We don't want to give out the key for our house or our car. So then I start thinking, oh my gosh, so do we have to have secrets? Do we have to have hidden things, but I want the truth, and I don't want anything hidden, and I don't want anything classified. So I'm playing around with this idea, and I'm just asking Brad, like, what the heck? I don't know the answer. And he's like, okay, let's maybe do a live stream where we can use the call feature, and you guys can call in and give your thoughts about it. Now, I will let you know, I won't spill the beans here, but I actually talked to my dad about it. And he had really good insight. And he gave me I won't even spill the beans, but there is some other ways. And so I just want to see what you guys think, what's your take on it? So yeah, this is just the two sides. The topic is privacy. Truth is everything. No more secrets, no more lies, dark to light versus security, Fourth Amendment. Don't give out your secrets and your passwords and your nuclear codes, So yeah. Where is that line? And can we find it?
I like that. Okay. So that'd be something to keep in mind. And we'll start off the next stream discussing that. So keep that in mind. But then also we can talk about anything that we talked about on this show. And I think that'll be fun. And so you have a video to lead us out.
Now we're going to lead you guys out with a wonderful video put out by the White House. And I think this was Prager University. Yes, PragerU, love them. They follow me. They're great on X. And they work hand in hand with the White House to really educate the public about our history, about who we are as a country.
I love it. Babe, do you want to do an ad too before we start this? And then we could kick in there, because this is awesome.
Sure.
In your campaign section, if you will.
Oh yes. Look, I never do ads. Oh, hold on. I never do ads.
This is gonna be fun.
Okay, let me
D28 just suggested it. I'm like, that's a good idea.
Rumble Premium. Let's do Rumble Premium, because that's what we actually have to. That's what you have to watch our stream. Okay.
Yes. Oh, perfect.
So I'm going to. I don't know how to do it.
So you go to campaigns. You click review.
Oh, I found it. It's going to block you.
Okay.
Hopefully it's working. It's working. Okay. You probably noticed Rumble is growing fast and it's not slowing down, which it really is growing fast. I will tell you this. They're building a real alternative to big tech that puts creators first and actually protects free speech. And now there's Rumble Premium, an easy way to upgrade your experience. With Premium, you get ad-free viewing across the platform. No pre-rolls, no interruptions, just the content you came for. Plus, Premium members unlock exclusive content like bonus videos, behind-the-scenes drops, and more from your favorite creators. Right now, Rumble is offering $10 off an annual subscription. Just go to rumble.com/premium and use the promo code STUDIO at checkout. That's rumble.com/premium, promo code STUDIO. No ads, more freedom, baby. And content you can actually care about. That's the deal. All right. Thank you so much, Rumble. And it really is, Rumble is the thing that's keeping us afloat, in all honesty.
Yeah. Rumble
so thank you so much for that. All right. Let's jump right into this bad boy. It's titled, they're putting out this whole series called The Road to Liberty. And if you don't follow the White House on YouTube, you need to. If you're homeschooling your children, there is so much content in here for you guys. Oh my gosh, it's wonderful. Okay, and this is called Articles of Confederation.
And guys, don't forget to hop on over to my channel after you get your Rumble Premium, of course. And once this is done, I will be throwing up the call-in stream, and we'll have a little fun. they usually can get out of control, so we'll see how it goes.
All right, guys. Hopefully we'll see you over there, everybody on my stream. I will be sending that link to Brad's channel in just a second. And enjoy this and understand the message that they're saying here. It's beautiful.
This painting symbolizes a country's foundation. A quiet room, clean signatures, steady resolve. Total unity, promises of liberty. This is the signing of the United States Constitution. But from where I stood, promises were already being broken. and a debt was owed.
This clause, here, must be revised.
They started drafting it in 76.
Let us agree to this historic measure.
Congress approved it in 77. Men began signing in 78, but it didn't officially go into effect until 81.
It is finished.
And for a moment, we felt we might have a nation. But even as it was being written, the weakness was already there. At Trenton, we marched, broke, pay missing, terms expiring, bellies empty.
I propose that this resolution be adopted.
Congress could pass resolutions, but it couldn't collect a single dollar to back them. So we crossed on promises, not pay. Then, Valley Forge. Winter didn't just test our commitment, it exposed a weakness. No proper clothes, not enough bread, and the army froze while waiting for Congress to act. The articles were built from fear.
We must grant Congress the power to tax, gentlemen.
Absolutely not.
Fear that a strong government would grow into a new tyrant. So they kept the strength with the states. Congress tried to cobble together a semblance of government, but they couldn't even pay their own debts. We'd beaten Britain at Yorktown, yet still we shivered like we'd lost. The fighting ceased, the bill came due. Congress pleaded, states hesitated.
Payment isn't coming. We're being called to confer in private.
And the army, my men, who bled for freedom, discovered that gratitude alone doesn't feed your family. Washington didn't write the articles, but he lived with their consequences.
Gentlemen, the decisions we make now will determine our future.
We did not bleed for this nation only to be cast aside when it is convenient.
That winter, the talk turned dangerous. If Congress wouldn't act, maybe the army must. We'd collect debts by force.
We must march on Congress to secure our due.
An attempt has been made to convene you together. How inconsistent with the rules of propriety. How unmilitary.
I expected him to punish us, charge us with treason. Instead, he spoke with the steady resolve of a man who had seen and overcome greater hardships.
Gentlemen, you will permit me to put on my spectacles. For I have not only grown gray, but almost blind in the service of my country.
That was all we needed to hear, and suddenly our fury felt small. And then he did the unthinkable, what victorious commanders almost never do.
Having now finished the work assigned me, I retire from the great theater of action.
He humbly handed back power. He retired at the end of the war to return to his farm. In that moment, I realized an army could seize anything except legitimacy. We'd beaten a tyrant. Now we had to decide what or who could replace him without becoming him. Because the next fight wasn't on a battlefield. It was over the kind of country we'd become.
I will be reigning, Brad. Let's go, Patriots.